Hello everybody, here's Christian Lamitschka for Country Music News International, and today on the show we present you
Leslie Satcher.
Leslie, you are for the first time here on Country Music News International, so can you please introduce yourself just a little bit more?
Yes, Christian, I'm glad to be with you. I am from the great state of Texas in the United States, and I've been in Nashville for a little over 20 some odd years, something like that. I have been a recording artist for Warner Brothers and independently, and also a songwriter for Sony Music for many years, and now for the great Notting Hill Music based in London and LA. I am working my new album that's just been recorded, Leslie Satcher and the Electric Honey Badgers. We recorded it in Muscle Shoals, Alabama, Christian. It's a blues, soul, Christian, country, all kinds of stuff, everything mixed together, and it is a very moving album, fun, super fun, and I'm excited about it. Very excited. Have some really wonderful special guests that are featured.
Well, tell us a little bit more.
Well, for many years, my dear friend has been, and almost like a brother, Christian. He's a good guy, Vince Gill. He's recorded on the single with myself and the great Sheryl Crow, rock legend. She's a great friend, and I've written songs with her and for her, and also for Vince. The great Trisha Yearwood, if you know her, married,
of course.
married to Garth Brooks, and the great Heidi Newfield from the band Trick Pony is playing harmonica. The band is an all-star band of kind of a who's who band. Our bass player is David Hood from the Muscle Shoals Swampers, played many years on many rock and roll legend albums. We have James LeBlanc, who is a recording artist, Americana, and also a songwriting partner and friend of mine that played lead guitar. We have Tommy Harden playing drums for us, who plays with Reba McEntire on the road. He's an amazing, also an Americana act with his wife. They are singers and songwriters. And then Jim Moose Brown is playing B3, and he is the band leader for Bob Seger. So we have a big mixture of people who have recorded on this project with us, and all friends. We're very excited about it.
Don't be shy. That's more or less the who's who in country music in Americana.
Well, it's I've been in town a long time, and I've been very blessed, Christian, to have a lot of really wonderful friends. And when you start making a project that's very close to your heart, and you want the best of the best, you just make a call and ask them and see if they will come. And they were all so gracious to come and be a part of my new project, and I'm very, very excited about it.
So, when can we expect to see the new project?
It's going to be very soon. We are working, actually we should find out later today the exact release date, probably in the next couple weeks, something like that. I'm not exactly sure, but it's very, very soon. I'm about to head to London to do more press and to write some, and I'm going to play C2C this year. Do you know that festival, Christian?
Yes.
Big festival, and I've been asked to play it by the Bluebird Cafe. They do a night on Sunday night, the 11th, and I'm going to be there with my friend Walker Hayes, who has a top charting record right now in country music, and so I'm very excited about it. This album is it's sort of outside of the box for me, Christian, in that it is not necessarily all country record. It is it's a soul record. It's from it's from the heart record. So it's a lot of fun. A lot of my influences from growing up in Texas, Stevie Ray Vaughan, if you know him.
Probably not.
Delbert McClinton, Bonnie Raitt, people like that are big influences on me and have been through my career. And so I've incorporated a lot of that sound in this project.
Wow. Folks, just for you, the C2C is Country to Country Festival in London. You probably don't want to miss that.
We'd love to have them.
Yeah. But let's go ahead with big stars all around you. How it is to be so in the spotlight of the public.
You know what, Christian? This is the way I have found my moments in the spotlight. I try to be the same as I am behind closed doors. And I think if you don't ever, present yourself in a false way, if you just stay the same, stay true to yourself, in behind closed doors and in the spotlight, it always works out good for you. And that's kind of through my career, I've tried to be like that. And my friends are like that. My friends, Christian, who are big, big stars, rock legends, blues legends, country legends, they're the biggest names, pretty much. I have found they are that's how they are. They're the same behind closed doors as they are in the public. And I've tried to emulate that. I want to be like that. I want to be the same person, so that never presenting something false.
So how it is to be touring, doing interviews, media meetings, and so on and so on. How can you make a life which is maybe when the door is closed, relaxed?
Well, I'll tell you, Christian, I'm very blessed that my husband travels with me and has been in the music business for many years as well. We actually met on the road when I was out riding with another artist named Neil McCoy. And David has grown up with Neil and worked with him, and so he understands the music business. And when you have someone with you who knows what you're doing and understands you're part of the business, it makes it much easier for you, because they understand when you come in late in a hotel room and you're tired, you might not feel like talking. Or they're the ones who push you in the morning to get out the door. We got an interview with Christian, we got to go. You know, that kind of stuff. And I really love that part of the business. I love interviews. I love media. I've always enjoyed it so much. When I did my first CRS with Warner Brothers, I loved this part of the business. I think you guys have a really hard job, because you're trying to look at everyone and squeeze it all into a few little days. You know, we have a little bit of time to suss it out, but you guys have to shove a bunch in a little time period. So I feel for you guys, worse than me. But I think having family who supports you is the best thing, Christian, if that answers your question.
Yeah, definitely. So since you're so in the spotlight of the public, do you have time by yourself to go as a normal person to the grocery store, to go for shopping, and so on and so on?
I sure do, and I have to do a lot of laundry too, Christian, like loads and loads of it. I do all of that. We're just regular people, and we do all that. We do all that on the road. Here's a funny story for you. I was in London last October, and we were, it seems so glamorous at home when you tell people you're going to London. And the first thing we did, Christian, was try to figure out where's the closest McDonald's so we can get a good cheap breakfast. And thank goodness, right next to our hotel was a McDonald's. And so every morning we're down there getting our biscuit and coffee, and off we went for the day. So, we try to just be ourselves wherever we are. And we're not, I wouldn't say we were big high rollers or anything. I have friends who have great big tour buses. And I will say, one time Vince told me a little thing, and I don't think he would mind me telling you this. I had called him and told him we were talking about something, and he said, "You sound tired." And I said, "Oh, I'm so tired." I said, "I've been on an all-night flight coming back from LA from something we did out there, and I'm just worn out, and gosh, this life." And he said, "Careful what you wish for." So
yeah.
he was telling me, be careful what you wish for. And I said, hey, I'm not on a big Prevost bus. But he's such a great guy. He has given me so much great advice and help in my career. And I've really tried a lot to kind of emulate Vince. He has no boundaries on him. He's made all kinds of different records and sang on all kinds of different records. And of course now he's an Eagle.
Yep.
And so, we're excited about that. We know an Eagle, so we're all go Vince. But it is it's a moving thing to watch someone have, reinvent themselves all through your friendship and their career. And I feel like that is what I am constantly doing. But aren't we all, Christian? As the music industry moves along and the doors are blown off of every genre, and everybody's crossing over, and everybody's singing on everybody else's records. It's such a great time in music when I have friends who are, making records with, hip hop stars.
Yep.
And they're the most country people of all time. And so you're going, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I think it's a fun time. Do you?
Yeah, oh yes, definitely. Yeah, Tim McGraw was one of the guys who came up with the idea to go by different genres. I remember he had this one CD out. He mixed everybody in. But well, anyway, what will you tell someone who came up with the idea to follow your career, or maybe likes to be such a successful like you? What is the best he can do?
I would say the best thing that you could do is to work hard. It doesn't ever. It's not given to you. Nothing is given to you. And I know we are in a kind of an American Idol age where people sort of win their way into it sometimes. A lot of times you don't see the backstory on those people who've worked hard all their lives just to get that moment in the sun. But it appears to people that it happens to them so quickly. It does not. I have not known anyone really that was an overnight success. For example, I might just, a friend and I were talking about Keith Urban a few moments ago. Keith has been a really dear friend to me through my career, and when I was working my first record, he came and did my showcase with me and everything, and moved a trip to Australia back 2 days so he could do it. That's the kind of guy Keith Urban is. And Keith was, had been a working artist back in his home country for many years. He had worked hard. He was writing songs, working hard. He made a record that was, that was a critical acclaim, but they wouldn't play it, and all these things. And now look at what he is. He's a megastar, but he has worked night and day for it. And I think that hard work is the only answer. If you want to come here, or any music town, Memphis, LA, Nashville, London, Hamburg, wherever, you have to work, because it's the hungry ones who get the prize.
So what's the most thing people have to take care about?
I would say what we learned in church this morning, what we studied about in church this morning, Christian, the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It always, always serves you well, Christian. An old country music guy many years ago that helped me get in the business, I asked him for this piece of advice similar to what you're asking me. And I said to him, what's the best piece of advice you could give me? And he said, oh, be nice to the ones that you meet on the way up, because that's the ones you'll meet on the way down.
Definitely, yes.
And he said, you want to be very, very careful with that. He said, don't burn any bridges. And I've tried to adhere to that advice and the golden rule, and I've tried to be nice to people and tried to understand, where they're coming from in the industry, what their job is, I'm working with a lot of people now internationally that I've never met before. I've never been in their country before, and all those things. It's a very exciting time for me. So I think if you just take that filter and use it, it serves you well, Christian.
Cool. So when fans like to keep up to date now with your career and your upcoming projects, what's the best way?
Well, there's two ways that I would say. Facebook, and I have my husband who manages all my Facebook for me. He is on top of it, man. He is making sure that the fans know when we're playing, where we're going to be, when the new project is coming out, who I'm working with, who I'm writing with, who I'm, traveling with, all those things. And also, I'd like the fans, to tag us and let us know when they're going to be close to where we are, and come see us play. Also, I'm new on Instagram, Christian.
Wow. I'm
really excited about it. So I'm learning about Instagram. So if you tag me on Instagram, or however you do it, I'll try to heart you if I figure it out. But that's what I'm trying to figure out, Christian. I like Instagram. It's interesting to me. So I'm trying not to put goofy stuff on there like what you had for breakfast, Christian. I'm a painter.
Okay.
I'm also an artist, and so I put some of my paintings that I'm working on or whatever, and who I'm writing with. I wrote with the legendary Steve Diamond last week. I put on there, I was with Steve, and the album, is on there announcing that it'll be coming out. You're going to be on there now, because I'm going to put on there I've talked with Christian, and all that kind of stuff. It's a fun time. My daughter is she is a wonderful hairdresser. She lives in Portland, young. And she's helping me learn about Instagram and things. And her boyfriend is the great Andy Hurley, who's the drummer for Fall Out Boy, which is an amazing rock and roll band. And so I have been learning about, that world, the rock world, and what goes on with them. And they're all like, you got to get on Instagram.
So folks, you know what happens with her in the future. She's more on Instagram than live on stage. So make sure you are lucky enough to pick up one of her concert tickets for the next shows. You never know, Instagram is filling her whole time. But if you want to know what's going on with her, stay here on Country Music News International. Join our newsletter where we keep you up daily with the latest news about her and other country music stars. Have a great day here from Nashville, Tennessee. Your Christian Lamitschka.